and welcome to the Bells is Late podcast, where we talk about Tails Gets Trolled and Bells makes me wait 30 minutes when I have to wake up early. I'm your host, the Undead Objectivist, here with my best friend in the entire world, ever since I met him when he was a wee baby, Dakota, the Has-Been Hotel fan.
The hell is up, guys? It's Dakota, Has-Been Hotel fan. New to the Tails Gets Trolled community, but, single and ready to mingle.
Yeah. He hit the wall, though, so don't get too excited, guys. Bells, what do you have to say for yourself?
Nothing. I don't have anyone to blame other than the jungle.
Your parents.
You're gonna blame the jungle.
They were brown, and yet they decided to mate.
I mean, I could blame my ape, my ape of parents, but they were born in the jungle, so I think the jungle is essentially responsible for. Honestly, I think the jungle
more foreign by saying ape of parents. Like you sound like Starfire from Teen Titans. My ape of parents.
Well, Tim, when you're talking about
the jungle, we got fun and games.
Tim, when you're talking about the jungle, you gotta put the thick accent to really put things into perspective more, to make them feel more emotional.
You gotta put the soul into it, into how you say it.
Yeah, exactly, Dakota. Yeah.
Okay, so we read the fourth chapter of Tails Gets Trolled. What do you think of it, Bells?
I gotta be honest. I actually really liked it. I know that I rushed it, but I actually was able to read each chapter fairly fine.
Any of the chapters that have fight scenes are way easier to get through, or way quicker than the dialogue-heavy ones.
I like how the comic is like. I know that I mentioned that the comic was getting very Dragon Ball ish heavy, like in chapter 3, but like it's really apparent in this. Like, I feel like from this chapter alone, I can make a really easy prediction: is that they're gonna make like this Dragon Ball Z thing where they're gonna revive dead characters with some weird magic shit. I think that's definitely gonna happen because if that doesn't happen, then I'll be damned.
I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not gonna say that no characters get revived, but I would not go in leaning on this because most of the time in Tails Gets Trolled, when they kill off a character, that character is just fucking dead. So, we're not going to get Sonic wished back with the Dragon Balls. He's fucking dead. I will say, first off the bat, you got one prediction 100% right last time. And I was so shocked last pod when you nailed it on the head that they were going to introduce and kill off Cream the Rabbit in the same chapter.
Oh yeah. What's funny is that I completely forgot the predictions I made last chapter. I was gonna ask you, what did I predict last chapter?
So last chapter you predicted Cream was going to be introduced and then die. You predicted that Tails was going to die. You predicted that Knuckles was going to join the trolls, and I think that was it. So none of those happened except for the Cream one, which was kind of crazy that you got just 100% right. I'll say this. So this chapter is just a fucking bloodbath. The trolls just murder fucking everybody. And it's really fucking funny.
What was the name of the alligator guy? I don't know.
Vector. Yeah, Vector. Vector gets fucking. He gets punished in this comic. He just gets his eye ripped out, just fucking puking blood everywhere.
Oh, dude! Yeah. When he spits blood to Shadow.
Yeah, and what's funny is every panel in the rest of the comic where you see Vector, he looks so fucking sad. Every time you see him, he's so fucking depressed.
Yeah.
So do you know who Emerald is? Because I don't think either of y'all were Sonic fans. Because that's a pretty deep cut Sonic character.
Wait, is Emerald the
robot?
Purple guy? Oh, the robot.
Yeah, so he was an antagonist that was in a
from,
Game Boy. Sonic X. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, no, he was in that porn comic I read when I was, younger.
Oh,
I know.
I probably know what comic you're talking about, but I don't know. You didn't narrow it down enough. So,
right. I think they're in like prison or something like that. They're in prison, but the robot helps them out or something like that by accident. And then Sonic rapes the girl or something like that.
was that like? Okay, I'm gonna sound like a fucking degenerate. Was that PAL Comics? Do you know?
That sounds familiar. That actually does.
Because I feel like PAL Comics was like the Sonic porn guy back in the day.
Yeah, no.
But it was always kind of weird because all of the characters all look like kids. So looking back on it, that was probably not okay. But well, no, it's just like like all the characters were flat. I don't know. To be honest, that was never really my cup of tea. I was more like I was more on.
They were Goblin
DeviantArt
short stacks.
Yeah, they were Goblin short stacks. I'll say that.
Although I haven't yet seen a comic, in my years of fapping my boner, I have not yet seen a comic where Sonic is stuck and helpless and will be killed, and the person who's killing him lets him do sticky onto your body.
Oh yeah. So I alluded to it last. Podcast, but Troll King's son is probably the most prolific rapist in the entire Tales Get Trolled universe. And we're not done hearing about his shticky, but. Fuck it. No, Laser. The thing is, Laser. There's so much in here that's unintentionally funny, but a lot of it is just fucking intentionally funny.
This is actually the first chapter where I actually had to stop for a bit to try to decipher what he was saying.
Yeah.
Just because it was so badly.
I'm having Bells read the actual pages, but if you want, the first 11 chapters have comic dubs that are really good quality, especially after like the first two. And the voice that's my preferred way to get through it because the voice acting is just perfect. Like the character, and the best part is they voice act all of the typos, so it's just "it'll kill you."
That's awesome! Oh my god. All right.
Yeah. We need. You don't have to resort to villains. Like they pronounce all of the fucking typos, and it's the best way to.
Oh my god!
If you've heard the hit song "Party Foul" by Nathan King, one of my songs, I actually sampled the and Tales Gets Trolled fans. Listen, go check out the song. Give me listens. But my song "Party Foul" by Nathan King has a sample from both at the beginning and the end of the song from that fan comic. So go check that out. But yeah, no. So Emerald, it was like he was in Sonic X, and he was from a Game Boy game. He's like a deep cut Sonic character though, and like most people don't know about him, which kind of just adds to the autism,
Does he appear like later in the series, or because like I remember trying to watch Sonic X and then quitting like after 6 episodes?
In Sonic X, Emerald was right after the Shadow arc. Like after the Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow arc, they go right into adapting the Game Boy game with Emerald in Sonic X. And I think Eggman becomes president because he's trying to repair the moon that he blew up. Well, I don't remember. It's been it's been a while since I've seen Sonic X. But the point is, just the inclusion of that character is just really autistic in a very charming way. And then one of my favorite Blink and You Miss It jokes in the comic is that everyone refers to Espio as the purple guy or the pink guy, including Vector, who is like his best friend. It's like Vector when Vector's describing the Shadow, he's just like, they killed Sonic, Cream, Emerald, and the pink guy.
Yeah, I like the line right after that. They're deader than a black guy in a racist town. Of redneck racist.
That rocks,
yeah.
Dude, Mario's such a fucking dickhead in this.
One of my favorite running gags in like Newgrounds shit is that like like Mario in the games is like this nice, humble, like almost guy,
Yeah.
like, and then in like the
Scholar.
Newgrounds,
Just
in like the
bastard
new,
Mario. Yeah.
yeah, like
Oh,
the
dude,
best.
Matt.
He's like a completely
I
different
remember
character.
watching. I remember watching it with Logan and Andrew, but I rewatched Mad Mario by Johnny Echo, and that shit is so fucking funny. That has some of the funniest Nick Newgrounds voice acting I've ever heard. It's like I can't even do an impression. Go watch Mad Mario. It's so fucking funny.
Dude, I
Um,
have
Mhm.
seen Mad Mario. Like I think like all the five what was it videos. I've seen them all.
That's the same guy who made it got viral on Instagram, but he's the same guy who made that the racist tree one where it's like one guy's tree is racist and the other guy's bush is like didn't age well either. And then at the very end the tree just drops a fucking hard R.
Oh, I know that clip.
Yeah,
I know that
it's the
clip.
same. It's the same guy. It's also the same guy who did Prostitute Mickey, which is one of the most fucking miserable cartoon parodies on Newgrounds, but it's so funny. Like,
I'm very far
like,
removed from Newground stuff. Yeah, I was completely on YouTube when I was a kid. So I guess
I
my
mean, well,
only
to be fair, so was I mostly. Like, I watched those on YouTube, but they're Newgrounds shorts.
Yeah, I
right,
mean,
right.
like
Yeah,
we
the
go
only
on
one
to
that I
New-
have any understanding of is racist Mario, which
Oh,
everyone's
racist!
seen.
Listen, racist Mario has become like infamous as like this awful, horrible cartoon. I'm sorry, that thing is still fucking funny. And Flash Kids
Hmm.
is one of the funniest YouTube animators out there. Like their videos are genuinely like more hit than miss. I love Flash Kids. I don't get the hate.
I don't know. I
Um,
mean, I don't think it's awful, but I've never been the biggest fan personally. I don't know. It's just
it's
I prefer a
It's
lot of
so
other.
fucking good. No, I mean it's not even their best video, but it's like it's funny and it just gets hate on so fucking much. I'll also say this with Newgrounds. Yeah, I was mostly watching the YouTube ones, like the YouTube uploads of them, but some of them you had to watch on Newgrounds, like Kerbifer's like Nintendo and Super Nintendo ones because they just had like porno sequences in the middle of them. So you had to watch those on Newgrounds. Same with Parody Rangers because there was just like a bunch of fucking penises and shit. God, that fucking takes me. I need to fucking go back. Most of those probably are unwatchable now, but I bet that I would have a good time revisiting regardless.
Yeah, there's like a crazy amount of songs that I first heard in like shitty Mario Newgrounds
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
animations.
First time I ever heard the real Slim Shady was a Newgrounds parody called "The Real Eggman." I'm dead serious. Like
Oh
that's
my god.
factoids like that make me the prime audience for Tails Gets Trolled. Like I am fucking
Yeah.
autistic as shit.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Sonic
it,
I was a Sonic fan in the early 2010s and it ruined my life. Like
I mean,
though
not
if
as
I found
great.
this comic back then, it would have been my favorite fucking thing. But now it's just my like third favorite thing now. So it goes like One Piece, Scott Pilgrim, and then Tails Gets Trolled. That's like that's the holy trinity of comics for me. So fucking good. I don't have too many thoughts on this chapter other than just this is one where the violence, because a lot of times violence, like hyper violence, you get to the point where you feel like you're watching Mr. Pickles and it's just like, it doesn't really like work. But there's something about the way he draws like the violence in this that is just so fucking horrifying and so funny.
Yeah,
like
it's so true.
It works so well. Like just like
Well, I mean,
that picture of like Cream just fucking like her face just melted, and then that fucking like 4 panels of them slowly digging out Vector's eye while he's screaming is so fucking grody. Like it's so good.
I mean, like the difference is
Oh
that
my
like
god.
with Mr. Pickles, like because like the animation is from like a far more professional, or I mean, I know that calling it Adult Swim.
Well, the style
Like
just sucks. Mr. Pickles is just like, despite the fact that it has a style, the style is just really unexpressive, and
and
violence is just so much funnier when it's expressive.
also
You
like
know?
it's very stiff. Like it's definitely like a show that's influenced by like the Family Guy kind of style, but without the charm.
Yeah, but Family Guy's like gore. I don't know. There's a lot more like it just works better. I don't know if it's the like being more expressive or just a better eye for like what looks funny from the animators. But I don't know. Family Guy's violence is just like that actually like elicits like a funny reaction.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Um,
I know. I really love.
oh
it's
my
probably
god,
been
they
talked
killed
about
Sonic! You bastards!
Yeah. No.
Stupid.
The way the dialogue is written is just. I mean, it's
Fucking
been said before,
masterful.
but it's amazing. I love the part where Vector's running back and he's saying like, "Shadow, where's Shadow?" and the other character is like, "Shadow, come on over here." He's like, "Yeah, Shadow, come on. Shadow, you need to hurry up. Shadow, really do. I'm missing a fucking eye."
Yeah.
I feel like me saying it doesn't do it justice. It's
No,
entirely in how it's
I'll
written.
say, well, no, but also the comic dub. Like I said, and Bells, you should too. Like, I want your first impression to be the pages because the page layout is really funny, and you missed some of that with the comic dub. But I would fully recommend the comic dubs. They only did the first 11 chapters, but it's like the definitive way to take this in because it's just, like I said, the voice acting, the voices are perfect. They catch every grammatical error, and like whenever there's like a random question mark that shouldn't be there, they always like end it like sounding like a question. It's just like it adds to the charm so fucking much. Like I can't recommend it enough. So in the with the purpose of trying to keep some of these earlier chapter pods shorter, I don't really have anything else to say particularly about this chapter. But do y'all have anything before we get into predictions?
I mean,
No.
honestly, I think that like what we said kind of summarizes it. Like a
Yeah.
lot of the like the violence, like a lot of it is funny. Like just the way again
Well,
Vector or
I got one more thing to say. So you've been saying that Tails is gonna die for like 2 different videos in a row, but you never even thought that like Sonic would die. So what are your extended thoughts on the death of Sonic the Hedgehog in this chapter?
I gotta be honest, I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. I'll say this. I gotta be careful what I say. A lot of stuff happens later in the comic that recontextualizes a lot of the stuff in this first 4 chapters. So while it is funny, it also like I get something else out of a lot of it because there's like a shit ton of subtext that's like fuck, what's the word? Not redacted. Fuck, what is it? Where you make a new continuity. What the fuck is it called? God damn it. I'm losing my fucking mind. Starts with an R. What the fuck? It's like where you fuck. I'm so stupid. Yo. Oh
Okay,
god.
Tim.
No, it's
Believe
like
in
where
you.
you change your mind on something or like contradict the continuity to change something. It's a fucking super comic word. Retcon. Yeah. What the fuck, man? I'm fucking retarded. But yeah, no. There's a lot of like subtext that's added in later that's like retconned into these early chapters. So rereading them is like a very different experience. Like after you're caught up in the comic, but it also is just really funny as well. Like just, and I think a big part of that is like out of all the ways to kill Sonic, he just squeezes his neck until it like pops off like a fucking cork. Like it's just such a fucking unnecessary way to kill him.
Like I don't know, I love how uncensored the whole comic has been so far. Like like no page
Oh no, and
censors anything.
they just drop ends later. Like it's like they don't give a fuck. Like
awesome.
they say faggot, they drop ends. It's a good old time. Now the most infamous use of the N word is censored, and we'll get to that one later. But later on after that, they stop. I'll say this as well. As brutal as this chapter is, Sonic did technically kill trolls before any of the trolls killed his friends. So, like, technically, the trolls are acting in self-defense. Technically.
Yeah.
Like, Shadow was about to genocide them. So, like, I mean, like, as brutal as it is, and as, like, much as you're like, wow, that's fucking dark, Like they really are like the trolls really aren't like the aggressors here.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I'm looking at the comic right now, and I still am not entire. I still don't know what he means by "I just Peter Pan kick his ass."
Okay, I forgot to mention
I
that. I don't know what the fuck that means. I mean, maybe he looks like fucking Peter Pan when he's kicked. I don't know. I don't. I don't know what the fuck that means. Thank you for pointing that out. I meant to fucking say something about that.
I have a feeling that later chapters are going to have like more incoherent, like I don't know, ways of saying shit, like the Peter Pan line, like it's gonna get so autistic that there's gonna be like a lot of I don't know insults or shit
Oh,
that
just
I
wait.
don't even know
Just
what.
wait until the narrators have like multiple different narrators have like plot threads that are treated with the same level of importance as the main story. You're not prepared for how fucking autistic this shit stays. This is not a case where he just like grew out of it. Like I think his storytelling improved and there's a lot of like genuinely like interesting stuff he does later, but it's still like fuck like literally like the last chapter that dropped. There's like a whole scene where narrator number 2 argues with like the floating head of the author. It's just like given so, and then in that same chapter, like really dramatic shit happens. So it's like
That's
I
awesome.
love it. Like genuinely, like I love One Piece and Scott Pilgrim a little bit more, but this is one of my favorite stories. Just genuinely, like I fucking
Mhm.
love Tales Gets Trolled, even beyond like not even just as a shit post. Like it's genuinely, and I think what helps with that is that it's not just laugh at it for being like laugh at it. A lot of it is laugh with it. It is genuinely funny when it's trying to be. It's funny when it's not trying to be, and then later on, it actually gets good when it's trying to be. So it's like it I don't know. It's such an interesting mix. And like I said, I talked mostly about that in the first pod, but it's like you can kind of start seeing little glimpses of it expanding past those first couple chapters into something a little more complicated. Like we're getting a faction split now with Mario, right? Mario's splitting off and doing his own thing, and that's causing conflict. It's like it's going to be getting a lot more Game of Thronesy, but I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through the pages trying to find something else, and I just Peter Pan kick his ass. It's just so fucking like I wish I could ask fucking Laserbot what the fuck that means. It's so funny. I will say, for being done in MS Paint, like the shockwave effects are like crazy. Like when Emerald's running in a ball, and fucking when like Troll King is like shooting those like shockwaves, like the fucking like the effects that he does in MS Paint are genuinely like I don't even know how the fuck he did some of this shit.
Yeah, no, it
Because
is
there's no
good.
blur
No,
tool in Paint, right? I'm remembering that right. There's no blur tool, right?
I don't know. It seems like
There,
he uses the blur quite a lot,
there,
so I would imagine
there,
there is.
I'm just
Oh,
looking at
probably
this
like
panel where Luigi's just smashing Espio with a giant hammer, and I love it
yeah.
because Luigi just doesn't have a fucking left arm. It's just a hand on the hammer, and it's just like the funniest looking panel. It's so good. Like
That's
I
awesome.
love this art so much. But yeah, all right, let's go into predictions. So we'll start with Bells and then go to Dakota. So Bells, what do you think is going to happen next chapter? We'll start with character deaths, and then we'll go into plot stuff. So Bells, both characters who haven't been introduced and characters who have. Who do you think is going to die, if anyone at all, next chapter? Bells, Bells from Bell's basement. I think we lost Bells.
Earth to monkey. Earth to monkey.
Well, I guess Dakota, if you want to give your predictions, because Bells died.
My God.
So let's start out with character deaths, and then we'll go into where you think the plot will go.
Yeah. Do I think anyone's gonna die next chapter? Is it just next
characters we
chapter?
know. Yeah, just next chapter. Both characters we know, characters we haven't met yet, or no one's gonna die at all.
Okay. I'm inclined to think no one just because of how much happened here, but I remember chapter, actually, yeah, there was still quite a bit of blood in the last, I think in chapter 3, I believe. But,
Oh no, I think chapter 3 and 4 so far have had the most character deaths. Because like fucking it is like like all of the Sonic characters died in this one, and then fucking last chapter we had Bugs, Daffy, and Eggman all dying.
yeah. Man,
So
then
at the very least, Sonic relevant character. Well, actually, no, Bugs and Daffy aren't Sonic. So yeah, no, characters are just dropping like flies. But I do see what you're saying, that because I actually can't even spoil because I don't remember what happens next chapter. So I think you might have a point that it would be slowing down because we just had a bunch of like carnage happen, and I think it slows down, but I don't know. Characters might die next chapter. I don't. Until we get to like chapter like 8, I don't really remember chapters like 5, 6, and 7 very well. So
so basically I'm inclined to say that because, every movie that's competently written by someone who like has writing experience in storytelling narrative, that's sort of naturally.
Mistake.
I will know. I'm about to say
this is very outsider.
I'm about to say that's my reaction, but I'm saying Laserbot is as far as I can tell.
Restraint might not be in his repertoire, is what you're getting
at. Yeah. So I have absolutely no basis here. Shadow seems quite with a lot of willpower. I don't know. Yeah.
So I guess
I think maybe Mario might be punished. I think Mario might be punished.
All right, so
that's my prediction.
So I guess that's a good. So getting into what you think is going to happen next chapter, let's talk both about the plot threads that are already established, and then what new plot threads could develop that you think could happen. Because like in this chapter, like we left with Sonic and Troll King fighting, but that Sonic's friends came and all died. So. And then the Mario betrayal. So at this chapter, we left off with Mario betraying the Troll Slayers. So obviously, I don't think it's too crazy of a prediction to say that scene is going to continue in the next chapter. But what other things do you think are going to happen? Because Sonic's dead. We haven't seen Tails since like chapter 2, I think. I think last we saw Tails and Knuckles was Knuckles telling Tails he fucked up because Sonic went to go on a killing rampage. And then yeah. And then
I guess
and then so the Trolls and the Troll Slayers are like the only two factions right now.
Right.
There we go. Hi, Bells.
The fucking light.
I guess
I'm gonna kill myself.
What happened?
The lights went out.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, Dakota just basically gave his predictions. He's just wrapping up, and then after that, we'll get your predictions and then end recording. So, so the question was beyond character deaths. Yeah.
I guess the main one that I can see happening is the Troll Slayers are going to have to relocate. And they're going to be moving elsewhere, possibly. I don't know, possibly caught by some trolls. I don't know. That's the
only main characters not with the Troll Slayers or the Trolls right now, I think, is Knuckles and Tails. So do you think is anything going to happen with them, or you think it's going to be mostly Troll Slayer chapter?
I guess. Oh yeah, you're right. Again, naturally, I won't say because we haven't seen Tails for so long. Where we would go back because it's long.
Oh, Dakota, you're cutting. Dakota, you're cutting out. Dakota, you're cutting out. You might need to go ahead and hang up and come back, and then see. Though we might have to bring him back into the secret. Bells, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is this slightly better?
Yeah, that's slightly better. What were you saying?
Okay, so I think so. Yeah, again, naturally, the A plot, B plot. We've seen enough of this one. We're gonna have to move to the other people that we haven't seen for a while. But Laserbound is a boundless creator and thinker and innovator. So
He built different.
it's true. But you know what? I'll give him. I'll give him. He has some semblance of. He's going to use some semblance of storytelling and how it works. I'm going to probably while the troll slayers are migrating, Tails finds out and get revenge. And joins them. That's going to be my prediction.
Okay, that's not bad. So, one last question I'll ask, and then we'll move on to Bells. What new characters are going? What new beyond OCs? What new pop culture characters do you think might appear in the next chapter?
Oh my god!
And by the way, as long as the character existed in 2011, you have a 50-50 shot on literally any characters. Bells predicted Eminem last pod, so maybe that one's already locked in. But who else do you think could show up?
Okay, I guess the ones that I know for sure. Talking about the, are we talking about just for the next chapter? They're going to be introduced.
Just next chapter. Like, what characters do you think will happen in the next chapter?
Okay, all right. I guess there are two other characters that I'm absolutely aware of.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess one of them, and I'm going to guess the. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a safer guess, and I'm going to guess the Cheeto Tiger.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that character is introduced next chapter.
Okay. And then who else? Anyone else? Actually, I guess that's good. Well, so
I'll go with the Rice Krispie Snap Crackle and Pop. Those little boys.
You know what? I think they are in the comic. I don't remember when though. So actually, you might be on. That's what I mean when I say like you could have a 50-50 shot. Like,
hell yeah.
So Bells, who do you think is going to die next chapter? Between characters we've met and characters we haven't met, or do you think no one's going to die?
No one's gonna die.
No one's going to die. Okay. What do you think is obviously? We're probably going to see more of the fallout between Mario and the Troll Slayers, but what else do you think is going to happen next chapter plot-wise?
It's a good question. I don't know, maybe probably there's gonna be it's gonna be like a random, like is B plot gonna be introduced with Eggman?
With Eggman?
Yeah.
But he died.
Oh yeah, right.
Do you want to switch that to like Bowser or something? Like,
you know what?
Unless you think Eggman's gonna come back to life.
No, I don't think it's gonna come back to life. It's not gonna come back to life. I'm gonna switch over that with Bowser. I think that could probably work. Could probably be something that could happen.
So same question that I gave Dakota. What pop culture, not OC, but what pop culture character or characters do you think are going to be introduced next chapter?
I was gonna say Christian, but that probably won't happen till later chapters.
I'll say this. Sonichu is a character introduced far later in the comic, and it is not a it is a very hateful cameo.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, everlasting war between autistic people and slightly more autistic people.
I mean, I'll say that because Laserbot hates the fucking Chris Chan comparisons, and to his credit, he's so much smarter, funnier, and more clever and more creative than Chris Chan. Obviously, Chris Chan's life is more interesting, but like Tails Gets Troll is so much more fucking entertaining on every ironic and unironic level than Sonichu is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah, Tim. I'm gonna say Crash Bandicoot's gonna appear next chapter.
Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot. Okay.
That's a good one.
That's not a bad prediction. I'll say this. So, last one you said Eminem and Bubsy, which we have not seen either, but we'll leave those characters on the table as well.
Mhm.
All
Okay.
right. So, that should be it for predictions. Anything else for Chapter 4 of Tales Gets Trolled?
Bells?
Um,
Go on.
Go on.
I don't know, man.
I'll say this. I think I'd like Dakota to be a mainstay because I feel like the three-way conversation leaves a little less dead air.
Mm.
So, though I guess
I
that is
agree.
me admitting defeat to Bladen, who said that me and Bells could not hold up a podcast. But me and Bells are going to hold up a podcast. We're just adding Dakota because he wanted to join, and that just makes it better. And this podcast is going to go 30 episodes because we got 29 chapters, and then we're going to do a character ranking list.
I just realized. But I guess it's 2011. Okay, so all right. I may have a prediction based on my name for next chapter.
Oh, has been hotel characters.
I know. But I mean,
I'll say this: I think the comic went on hiatus in the mid 2010s and didn't return until like late 20 until like 2 years ago. Like,
yeah, so, I looked ahead. Well, I didn't like look ahead, but I clicked on the chapters and I saw that chapter 27 was made in 2023. So I'll if that can be like a long standing one for like chapter in like chapter 25.
So some kind of has-been hotel character showing up.
I'll go with Charlie herself, Charlie and Vaggie.
Okay. All right, we'll leave that one on the burner, and then all of the other character predictions we have will also be active throughout the podcast. Because, it's 50-50 shot either way, as long as the characters existed at the time of the chapter. But I will say, we also just finished the first 4 chapters, which were the first initial batch that became viral. And after that, I don't think there was a huge time gap between chapter 4 and chapter 5, but we're going to be getting into more territory that was less circulated. And then I think by the time you get past chapter... I think chapter 10 is the latest that like the widespread memes went around. I think after chapter 10, there's no other like internet memes that came from the comic. Because there's a couple scattered between here and there, but after that it's nothing. So, okay. And if I keep talking, I'm going to spoil more. So we'll call that a day on the Tales Gets Trolled experience, episode 4, and we'll be back next Monday with chapter 5. I've said it in the previous pods, and I'll say it this time. If you would like to enjoy discovering the story at the same pace we are, just read the chapter that we're doing before the pod, and then you're going to be caught up. And that way you get to speculate with us and have fun. Maybe you can comment. People who have caught up with the comic, don't spoil the comment section, but if you are just reading it for the first time and are we'll rape you, but we'll if you're just catching up with the comic with us, then feel free to drop your predictions and thoughts of the chapter in the comment section as well. We're going to be doing this every Monday until we're all caught up. And that's about it. I'm Tim, the undead objectivist of the Unsubscribe YouTube channel. This has been the Dakota, the Has-Been Hotel Fan Hour with my friend Beaner Bells.
All right. Yeah. Fuck you, local nigger.
That was a little harder than I feel like it's easier to get rid of it when Bell says it. Maybe I have to rethink the rules. All right, Bell in the recording.